Welcome to 8,000 Miles Away. This is your host, Vic, for another exciting video. This has been one weekend here. So, glad y'all tuning in tonight, and I thank all of our Virginia and I, loyal subscribers. You know, we're small, but we got a loyal crew, and we love you to death. Almost 1,100, but it's a guaranteed loving 1,100. So, guys, ladies, gents, primarily gents, we thank you for being loyal and tuning in to 8,000 Miles Away as you do. You don't know how much we thank you for that. YouTube is not easy. It's hard to grow channels, and to get to 1,000 is a feat in itself. It's just not easy. But like I said, this weekend was some sort of weekend, guys. And today we got a reaction video I'm going to do tonight. This is what I call the late night Sunday broadcast conversation. So guys, tune in if you want, chime in as you want, make comments if you want, whatever it is you want to do. If you want to come on board, I can send you a link and talk about it. But I got a reaction video to a video I saw called The Average Men Are Waking Up and Society is Terrified. He's put about 2 or 3 of them out there. So I thought they was hitting like Popeye chicken. So I wanted to react to it and so forth and so on. But like I said, this weekend has been some sort of weekend in the social media world in this niche, and it's been overall an incredible weekend across the board if you are on this planet, and especially America. So we all know by now that President-elect, I guess he's President-elect because he's at a convention coming up. They'll probably nominate him as the president for the Republican Party. The dude might just win the election. Now, you guys already know that I'm a conservative Democrat. I know a lot of YouTubers probably hate on me for that, but I did say conservative Democrat, which means that I have a lot of conservative opinion on most of the things that go on in this country. But at the same time, I support, and understand what we as Black people over the past 25 years, because it's went through. And I say 25 years because 25 to 30 years, the older generation, the American generation, they did a lot for us, and a lot more than we've done. And those laws are still in place, and a lot of Republicans are winding them down, cutting them up, chopping them up. That Supreme Court, wow, they're just cutting everything you can get your hands on. So it's sad to say that, but at the same time, being conservative, I kind of almost understand, because a lot of those programs has held us back as a black race. But to each his own, and feel what you want to feel. But the other day, Saturday, just yesterday, out of the blue, I don't know what because I got a regular job. YouTube is just, passion of mine, because, we don't make a lot of money here on YouTube at all. YouTube don't even pay enough to buy a bag of groceries for the most part. So being that it's made, let me just start over and say, if you like our videos, if our videos made you smile, made you laugh, or if you learned anything, if it made you laugh anything, send us a cash app below at $ 8,000 Miles Away, or a super chat. Send us a cash app at $ 8,000 Miles Away. It would really help grow the platform, and we can expand and make this a lot better broadcast. Bring on things, bring on guests, do a lot of different things, because we got plans, Jack. We got plans. and those plans are going to make it, especially when I'm full time in the Philippines. Okay, because this channel is geared toward the Philippines, moving to the Philippines, things that are social relationships in the Philippines and the United States, and a combination of both. It's with a twig of Thailand in there because Thailand has, I don't know. You can just say it's the parties, but not all of it. I guess you're talking about Pattaya, but it's just a lot bit more to most Americans liking because it's a little bit more advanced for the most part, internet wise mainly than the Philippines. But Trump got shot, and a lot of people saying, and I don't want to get into that, but a lot of people are saying it was a conspiracy. I saw a lady on there talking about this shot him, and I don't think it was a conspiracy. One woman went crazy to say that how in the movies, when an actor starts bleeding, they say, what happened? Where that blood come from? Because he was down with his head and everything, and you see blood on his face, make it look like a martyr or something, like a king, not that even marched through and won and defeated the odds after somebody have shot him already. But they say that in the acting world, if anybody ever know anything about acting, you put something in your mouth and you bite it, and the blood skeets out all over your face. Kind of a way you show that you bleed. But I don't buy into the conspiracies because, for one thing, is somebody got shot, somebody got killed, 2 people died in that thing. I think a woman died, and of course the shooter died. And that shooter. First of all, I just want to say I am a Democrat, so I've never really voted for Trump, but no one deserved to die. And Trump even just might be a good president this time, even though he says a lot of bullshit, for the most part. He lies a lot. He's unethical. He's a liar. He's just so many things that anybody wouldn't want to vote for. But some people support him, and it is what it is. And if it was on the international level, I'm not so sure I don't agree with him on some things. Because for one thing, that war over there in Europe, it needs to end. Instead of persevere, we need to find a resolution to that. We don't need to drag ourselves in that war. We just don't need to do it. So we need to figure out a way to help end that war rather than continuing the war, which would ultimately drag us in it for time. But anyway, each his own. But that shooter, have y'all seen that cat? Let me pull up a picture of him because because it's a trip. I just have to show you him. I'm gonna pull up a picture of this guy if I can find him. Let me just share my screen to show you this guy. All right, and fair use to whoever this company, I guess it would be, they put this out there. This news agency that put it out, BBC News. Man, this dude looked like, man, I'm honestly, guys, this guy looked like somebody back in the day we would have beat up on the bus. Somebody that would have showed up on the basketball court that we would have knocked around. Somebody that we would have took his lunch money. This is the kind of cat this is. I don't know how many cats like this that I used to scare off. He certainly don't look like nobody's killer. That's probably obviously a younger picture. He's a young guy. I don't know if he's mentally crazy or not and what would cause him to do something like that. But you would never, ever think this nerd-ass guy right here would pull some shit like that. That's got to be the funniest thing in the world. Take that back. Ain't nothing funny about it. Saddest damn thing in the world. So, just wanted you to see that nerd there because that's what a nerd looks like back in the days. Guys, I got me a what do you call that? This is tomato juice and Patron. You think it's gonna work for me? Oh, it's hitting too, boy. Woo! That thing, let me hit that one more time. Thomas Matthew Crooks, looking like a nerd, decided that he wanted to be the one to take out Trump. The hell was on his mind? Now he's no longer here. Sad for him, sad for his family, and just sad all over. And it is what it is. So, but enough about that. I'm not sure what will happen. I think the Republican convention is coming up, and he'll pick his vice president. And then in November, he'll go, the two old men will get down on the floor and decide who's going to run this country for the next 4 years. There's a hell of a lot of stuff going on. We need a strong leader, somebody that's connected, and somebody that's strong on international policy, someone to deal with some of these migrants and immigrants coming in here. So, and then do something with the pricing here in the United States, because that's a lot of the reasons why it makes it easier for guys, women, people to consider living over abroad, because every damn thing in the United States costs so much freaking money. And this culture, guys, is Babylon for the most part. It's really sad. But on another note, excuse me, guys, got a cough. On another note, in this niche social media, in this niche we have here with a passport bro niche, and red pill or whatever you call this niche is. I don't mind. I'm glad I didn't put it in the thumbnail. It's not in the thumbnail because the thumbnail is totally different. And I'm not trying to shine for no viewers or nothing like that, but I'm just going to make a quick comment about it. Richie Mack of Zoom to Thailand is one of the YouTubers that has influenced a lot of us in what we do. He's a hero of mine, and a lot of things he's saying, mean, and represent are synonymous. I mean, similar to the way I think. And it's just sad that he has a troll like Tom that has nothing to do but run around and stalk him, threaten him, and talk shit about his girl, and even jump around in the Philippines and talk shit about Calvin Roach, Sunshine. So I'm not sure what his issue is, but damn it, he need to get that shit together. Now, Richie, on the other hand, he I don't know if when he came out of that barbershop, Snoo barbershop, he probably should have got him a stick or barber clippers or something, because when he came at him, he's only like what 5'5", 5'6". And shout out to the short man, because I'm only 5'7" myself. And I can understand, fighting bigger guys, because all my life everybody was big, especially when I was younger. I can recall one time, and check this out. My brothers, I got two brothers that are twins, younger than me, and they were starting some shit on the school bus with another cat. I won't say names, but their families, we're short people. My brothers are even shorter than me. And they were starting to shit on the bus and got into an argument with this cat on the bus, this kid on the bus. And it drug me into it, because they told me your brothers was fighting. And when I looked up, tall dude, I won't give his name, just say David for just example, or Michael. We use the name Michael. His name's not Michael, but Michael was 6'7" back then. 6'7" back then. And they drugged me into the fight. And I remember this I had to go against this cat because my brother started some shit. This fool chased me all the way down the street. It was like the Tin Man running after your ass. He was like a building chasing me. How do you fight somebody that big? So what I always did, and when I was in the rumble, I always got me an equalizer. Tom had a damn cane. He should have had a stick instead of going out there with that weak ass kick. But he had a plan though. He had a plan. He choked the motherfucker out. He ain't gonna do him like hell and landed on his feet. So he didn't lose or nothing like that. But all in all, when you get down to it, them cats are way too damn old to be talking about fighting and shit. You need to hit them motherfuckers with your wallet. And now that they done had this scuffle, that's probably what it's going to end up being, a wallet thing. Whose wallet is bigger? And I pray that it's Richard, because Richard means more to the community in Thailand, the black community in Thailand, than anybody else, especially the troll that Tom is. I don't know, because his content, his demeanor, and the shit that he stands for on this channel just ain't cutting it. Some people like it for entertainment, but the troll shit need to cease on Utah, for real though, bro. But anyway, enough about that bullshit. I hope that all works out in the way it does, and nobody gets deported out of the country and so forth and so on. But anyway, this video tonight, this video that we're gonna bring on, I'm gonna react to, is a real banger, guys. It's an absolute banger, and I want to react to it. I want your opinion on it, what you think about it, so you can comment on it. Let me know what you think, and let me know your opinion. And if it's something that's, if it's real big, we'll do a follow up. But hey, it's a banger. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and bring that video on, because I'm going to react to it as well. All right. So let's see what's up. Bring it on right now. And I think it's from the beginning. Before I bring that video on, I want to say though, no, I won't bring that up. I'll just bring the video. Let's see. Right here. Share screen. Go. Right. Share. Okay. This brother's put out about 3 videos so far. And really, a lot of his videos are redundant. I want to react to this one here. Because this young man is only 28 years old. He already got it. He already understands the deal. So we're going to react to it right now. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Let's hit
it. Average men are waking up and society is terrified. There is a movement that is brewing. There is something that is going on, which you can...
Okay, let me just stop it right there. There's definitely a movement. Before I start, there's definitely a movement. And the movement that he's talking about is true in fact, but the movement to this is what's created the evolution of the passport bras and guys moving overseas. So let's just hear a little bit more to it.
And check in my last video in the comment sections. A lot of men are sick and tired. A lot of men are very sick and tired, and they are checking out. And if society doesn't start taking this problem extremely serious, they're going to have a devastating problem on their hands. Listen, 2 or 3 generations ago, as a man, if you're working 40 hours a week, you come home, you're going to be able to provide for your wife, provide for your kids, provide for your household. And back then, they had a way that your woman would respect you. Your kids would respect you. But on top of that, the number one thing that they would do is they would appreciate your sacrifice. And so when society told men that they had to sacrifice not only for themselves, but their family and their community, their society, they were okay with that, because it wasn't the hard work that bothered us, right? It was the fact that we were being acknowledged about us.
Right there. Acknowledged. Nothing a man appreciates more than being acknowledged. Acknowledged for his hard work. My old man worked probably 40 years on a job, and all he did was provide for the family. And then he worked another 20 years owning his own business. And we always appreciated that. Even as kids and college kids and growing up, you had to appreciate that when a man sacrificed like that. We saw what he did. In contrast, Filipino women, by and large, they appreciate their men's efforts. And Latino and Hispanics do as well. They appreciate their man hard labor. The families do. So it is what it is. Continue the video.
Sacrifice that kept us going. I saw a cute, heartwarming video the other day. This guy driving home, and he was telling how he's on the brink of damn near psychosis and whatever. He was going crazy. And the thing that keeps him going, working these 50, 60-hour weeks, is as he was pulling into the garage, his daughter comes running out, like jumping up and down for joy. And she's just so happy to see him. The guy starts crying because he's like, this is my motivation. And that's a lot of guys out there. Most men don't work long hours for the sake of just working long hours. We don't do that. It's not fun. The average man isn't doing that for fun. The average man is willing to do that for an appreciative wife, appreciative children, a society that respects him. And so what ended up happening 1 to 2 generations later, and thanks to Unism, right, it's starting to erode the very emotions that men needed in order to keep us going. Now, of course, there's that group of men out there that, like, as a man, you should be doing this regardless of the situation, and you should sacrifice, and you should stay hard, right? I get it. I completely understand where you're coming from, but let's not pretend that having a great companion, having great children who respect you, who admire you and look up to you matters. Let's not pretend that doesn't matter to a man's overall psyche of whether he wants to continue down this path of sacrifice. I would love to remind you, a path of sacrifice. Let's not pretend like that doesn't matter. And so again, what ends up happening is those feelings that men, they're getting eroded. In fact, a lot of people have the thinking that if it benefits a man, I'm not going to do it at all. And it's like,
let's stop it right there. Let's stop it right there. That benefit we're talking about. See, benefits a man. That's that woman thing. See, that's the attitude in culture. That's the attitude. This benefit of man stuff here is what it's all about. And that attitude and that culture of that attitude that women have is a cultural standard in American women now. It's the greatest sense of entitlement at the highest level. And that's another reason brothers are looking overseas for traditional women that are women that are in the image of their mother or grandmother from years ago. So that is just entitlement altogether. Roll the video.
Like that's the most disgusting attitude to have, because it's taken that attitude of appreciation, that attitude of people speaking life into men, and it's twisted it and turned it into entitlement. Now they believe that you have to do this. Not only that you have to do it, but it's your honor to do it. It's your honor to sacrifice yourself for women and for society. And again, like I said, as men, we didn't care as long as we were getting those emotions of being appreciated, of being respected. But nowadays, that's not happening. In fact, what they're expecting you to do is to take nonsense, to take garbage, to take being led on and still do that sacrifice. I'm not doing that. I'm not working 50, 60, 70, 80 hours and coming home to an ungrateful wife, to disrespectful children, to a society that doesn't even like me as a person, but only likes my utility, only likes what I can do for them. That's
right there. Pause it right there. I gotta hit you with this one here.
They're gonna work you all day, every day, till your back give out. They're gonna work you all day, every day, till your back give out.
Hey, so just know this. A job don't give a shit about you. They'll work you till you break your back. They don't care whether you go leave, the hours, they just work. And when you work that hard, you cow down a job and bite your tongue to stay on the job, to take care of your family or sustain your standard of living in this very expensive culture, then you don't want to go home to unappreciative, loudmouth kids or wife or disrespectful people. Your home's got to be peace. If it ain't, it causes shit like what you're hearing from this gentleman here. Continue the video.
That's horrible. I'm not doing that. And the thing about it is, thanks to the internet, young guys like me, I'm 28, young guys like me, we get we get to see the past generation. We get to see the older men. And the horror stories that I see watching older men does not make me excited about getting married, does not make me excited about talking to women, does not make me excited about building a family, building a community here in the West. It doesn't. A lot of older men are checking out. Do you understand what that does? If older men are checking out, I'm asking, I'm like, whoa, why are they checking out? What's going on? They realize that the sacrifice that society is telling them that they are honored to make has been one giant lie. And you think I'm going to follow in those footsteps? I'm not doing that. Now, listen, there's always going to be a group of guys who keep society running and following those footsteps. It's not going to be me. And for my last video, the comments that I've seen, it's not going to be a lot of guys. A lot of guys are saying, you know what? I'd rather try to find an online job. I'd rather try to find an online business. I'd rather do something and get the heck out of here if I'm going to try that. What? See, when 100 guys are able to work online or find a remote job and leave, no one bats an eye. Nobody cares. The slander will continue. When it's 1,000 guys, again, nobody cares. Slander will continue. 10,000 guys is like, something's going on here, but it doesn't matter. We don't need them. It's whatever. 100,000 guys. You're like, okay, what the heck is going on here? 1 million guys. See, this is what's gonna happen.
Pause the video, and this is the reason why guys are doing this. I'll play this video. I'm gonna play this video right here. This is the reason why brothers just fucking had it. Check this out. This is why we had it. This is for you younger guys. This is what you got.
Now, fellas, now I want you to look at this woman right here. This thing. This is the look that every female on TikTok is wearing. Now examine her face. On first impressions, do this bitch look like she would cook you a meal? Do this bitch look like she would be faithful to you? Do this bitch look like she would do anything for you? This bitch screams, I want a free meal. This bitch face screams, what do you have in your wallet? Can you cash out me? Can you pay my light bill? This look screams, I'm broke and I want what you have.
That's it. That is 100%. That's 100% it right there. See, the young guys have to deal with that bullshit, and the older guys have to deal with a woman with a loud mouth, entitled woman that's a big Shirley, that's opinionated, and set in her ways. Do you want that? I don't think so. There's options that's better. Let's continue the video.
Are going to increase and increase and increase and increase so long as they feel the need to disrespect men in the media, the society, the nation, the family, you personal. As long as you're making it up and says, I'm a monster, I'm not going to walk out here and sacrifice for all of these individuals who don't even like me anyway. They're going to start going to different places where they're being appreciated. The fact is, I was talking to a man the other day. This sealed it a lot for me. He was married 12 years, on his way to retirement. I think he said he was 3 to 5 years away from him. Wife, unsatisfied, divorced him, and set his retirement back at least 10 to 15 years. And so I'm curious, I don't like to poke soft spots because, I asked him, are you okay to talk about this? He's like, yeah. So I asked him, I say, I never knew how divorce courts work. I haven't gotten divorced. And so when people say you have to give a woman half your assets, I was always curious about that. Like, what does that look like? Does a person come to your house? They give you a giant bill? And essentially what he told me is he made a giant Excel sheet of all his accounts, all of his investments, and he had to split it down the middle and wire this woman a check. Listen, I don't condone crashing out. I don't condone that, right? There's help out there. Go get that help. But if a man does crash out, I completely understand. What? You're this close to living the retirement lifestyle, the retirement dream that you've set for yourself, and your wife ups and one day wakes up and says, nah. She got the house that she was. I don't even want to go down to it. I don't even want to go down into it. Essentially, she got the house, and she's with the dude that she was cheating on him with, and his children. Oh my God. The way he was talking to me, he was drunk at the time, but he was taking that like a champ, man. I was like, I'd crash out, man. I'd crash out. I can't live that way. And it's not because it's like I'd be okay afterwards. I genuinely think that I wouldn't do well in that situation. I really don't. There's no way that somebody I could call the love of my life is all of a sudden. And there's this rumor that I've heard. And if you're an older guy who's gone through this, let me know down in the comments. There's this rumor that I heard that whenever you are in a divorce court, you see a completely different side of the person you once married, a side that you have never seen before. And I asked him about it. I was like, is that true?
First of all, you're going to see that before the marriage, before the divorce. You probably see that in the 5th year, 6th year, somewhere in there. Way before the divorce, you see that.
And he's like, yeah, it's true. He got blindsided. And it's like, I can't, oh my God. And listen, this is just one tiny horror story and the hundreds of thousands of stories out there for access for people to look at in real time. This thing is still going on to this day. And you think that's going to make me excited about wanting to get married here? So let me get this straight. 50 to 80 hours a week, underappreciated, not respected. When I go out into society, I'm looked at as a monster or an enemy. Are you insane? I'd rather not. And this is why I'm making arrangements. I'm trying to get out of here. Now, again, I know some of you guys are hardcore veterans, hardcore townies. But again, there's no way. And what a lot of younger guys, what people don't realize is when the older guys make a decision like that, the younger guys are like, wait, we can do that too. And then the younger guys younger than me are looking at me saying, wait, why is he doing that? What's been going on? And it's going to create this chain effect of men who are like, you know what? It's not worth it here. I'm leaving.
It's better known as the passport movement is what that's called. That's what that is. It's already a title to that, brother. Now, you can call it what you want, but that's all it is.
It's not worth it here. I'm leaving. And hopefully the spark of this movement it will send a message to younger women to say, wait a minute, a behavior has to change. Because for older dudes and guys like me, I really genuinely feel like it's over. And the reason why I feel like it's over is because the only option that these women have at the most part, again, this isn't everyone, this isn't every woman, right? But on average, the only decision that they can make at this point is to turn around and start acting like housewives, start acting feminine. And I start to see it now. But for me, it's too late.
Just it. You can't act feminine. It has to be within your DNA. And that's what you get when you go to Asia or some of these Latin American countries. It's in their DNA, but not to be an aggressor. to be caring and culturing and loving towards your family and respect the man of the house. It's not a I want to be feminine because of this, or I want to be feminine because I met him, or who or what. It's not that. It ain't like that. Being feminine and being submissive, or I don't know the other word. I can't think of it. It's just all the same words, but it's got to be in your DNA. And these women here just don't have it. And it's not going to change.
For me, because for the longest time, men have been saying, listen, don't do this. We don't like this. Don't do that. And women have said, you know what? I'm going to do it anyway. We're going to do it anyway. And they do it anyway. And now in our eyes, you've become so undesirable that we're like, you know what? I think it's just time to leave. I think I'm going to go. I think I'm going to leave and go somewhere else. And now all of us are like, wait a minute. I can be who you want me to be. I can do that. I take pride in this now.
And now he's going to bring a point is because that's just like he says, he's going to say it's a woman's nature. But it's like a bad marriage. The whole entire Western Hemisphere, primarily just the United States, is just like that. It's like a bad marriage. Like, you know, you're in a marriage with someone and you're about to break up and they say, oh, this is the American woman. Oh, we're going to start making videos saying we're going to be submissive and we're going to be caring and compassionate and not so aggressive and more cooperative. That's the word I was looking for earlier, cooperative. And they're going it's like a front because you already know them. You ever seen a woman who stepped to you and put on a fake front like they're going to be something, they're really not going to do it, only doing it because they want you to stay? It's not going to work. Continue the video.
Now, and it's like, no, like it's too late. You know what I'm saying? Because again, when you start studying female nature, this is a very easy talking point. Is they say that a woman would do everything that she wants in her early 20s, and then when she starts to hit the wall, late 20s, 30s, all of a sudden she wants to turn around and be this perfect person with high mileage body count, couple of children. And it's like, that's no different than what's going on in society right now. They acted any way they want to. Now that they see that men are saying, you know what, I'm checking out, I'm done, I'm leaving. Now they're turning around and saying, oh, let's start these campaigns about, oh, I want to be modest now. I want to be housewives now. Listen, that may work on some guys, but that's not going to work on the majority because we've already seen the degeneracy on the internet. The internet is forever. We've seen how a large group of women have been acting when they've started getting the freedom that they so asked for and they wanted. And now it's like, I'm checking out of that. I'm not doing that. Because again, all that is going to lead you into the trap that the older men have fallen for, that have told us, listen, young men, get your money up, get your online job, and get the heck out of here, man, because this is not for you. And like I said, again, there are some men who this is not going to apply to at all. You're fine here. You got a nice paying job. You found a unicorn, a diamond in the rough. Congratulations on you. But that's not the average man. That's not the average man's experience. And so, listen, man, there's a shift that's going on. There's a movement that's going on. If you relate to this, put that down in the comments.
I'm gonna pause it right there, and because the movement is really to go overseas because the women are not going to change. They're just not going to change, and this young brother has already got it. And the older cats are old enough now where they went through a marriage or two, and they no longer have kids that are, you know, the kids are grown, and now they can just bounce. We got another video here that I want to play a part if I can. Not sure if I can get it. Let me see if I find it.
There's this movement going
Let's see if it's the same.
that a lot of men have completely checked out of dating. They have stopped dating. And let me be the first one to say
the part where he talks
about a woman isn't fun. It's not fun. The whole
check this
process,
out, guys. Listen to this.
asking for a lot, sure. But I think that it can happen. So one of the main reasons why a lot of guys have checked out of dating, at least for the
What I hear.
average man, is dating the average woman isn't fun. Cold approaching the average woman isn't fun. Texting the average a woman isn't fun. It's not fun. The whole process isn't fun. There used to be a time where dating was fun because the person was just as excited to see you as you were to see them. They were just as excited to get approached as you were to approach them. But nowadays, because of the internet, because of people's over inflated value of themselves, they're playing these power games between each other. Oh, I like him a lot, but I have to convince myself that I don't like him so I can keep my cool and my composure.
Right.
What? Like, what are we talking about? Oh, I do like him. I got his text 3 minutes ago, but I'm going to wait 30, 45, an hour, 2 hours to text him back because I don't want to seem thirsty or desperate. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? These are the games, and these are just like the tip of the iceberg type of games that a lot of guys have to go through in order to get to the person that they're looking for. Now, listen,
Right.
I know there's a lot of guys that might come in my comment section and be like, yo, bro, you have to make sure that you're dressing well, that work on your confidence, power through that rejection. You know what I'm saying? Be courageous, be brave, right? Be in that masculine, do all this other stuff. Listen, as a guy who used to not do any of those things, who then over the years became that person who was better, let me tell you this. What these guys don't tell you is the process is still the same. The process is still the same. Now, the BS that you have to deal with may lessen a little bit, but you still have to deal with BS. You could be the top of the guy. He's still dealing with BS because what happens is as you start to improve your life, as you start to have more conversations, you go through the rejections, you go on dates. Let's say you even found out the way that you're able to sleep with women consistently, right? Let's say you got that down. What happens is your standards start to improve because you've dealt with average and mediocre type of women. And you're like, okay, I'm at the point now, I've worked on my social skills, I've worked on my body, I've worked on my money. Now I want a woman that reflects that. So that means you're constantly having to chase women who are out of your league, which I can't stand that term, but women who are more on your level. And that's like a lot of guys who get a bunch of girls, usually they're getting girls who are below them, right? Girls who don't work on their social skills, girls who don't work on their bodies, girls who don't know how to be feminine. This is the reason why a lot of guys are checked out, because it's like when oh my gosh, I know some of you guys can relate to this. You guys ever have a conversation with a woman and she has no idea how to have a conversation? And you're thinking, I think to myself, I'm like, wait a minute. I've worked in female-dominated places, right? A restaurant. I've worked in a restaurant. Women talk all day about nothing. All day. It's a skill. They talk about nothing. They tell stories that have no ending. I've seen women talk a lot. And when I talk to women, it's like I'm talking to a person who lacks social skills. I'm like, how? How? A lot of women don't have minds of their own. And it's so disappointing. It's so disappointing. And if they do have a mind of their own, it's usually like the most, like they're trying to have like boss babe art. They pride themselves on having a mind of their own. It's like a person who's good looking, who does everything to prove that they're good looking. It's like we know you're good. You don't have to prove it. You know what I mean? It just comes off weird. And that's where a lot of these things come from. Getting numbers sounds good in the moment until out of the 20 numbers, 18 don't text you back. The 2 that you set up on one flakes, and the other one shows up, and it's like one of the worst dates possible because she doesn't know how to be a woman. Oh my God, there's so many stories that I have for this. Let me tell you one of these stories, man. I can't stand this story, bro. It pisses me off just thinking.
I'm gonna let him get that story and I'll end the video because this is a story that's relative to a lot of guys, because it kind of shows you the demeanor of a lot of these younger women. Some of the older women are like this too. Yeah, they do. They can't hear. Boy, this story is hitting home. But we'll end the video on this story.
About it. I was having a conversation with this woman. We were texting. And for me, my dating strategy, at least in the past, very straightforward. I want to make something happen as soon as possible. I don't want to waste time and FaceTime and call. I'm not doing any of that. I want to set up a date as fast as possible. So we were talking. We were just kind of shooting the shit, And she was like, I make like a mean burrito. And I was like, I was teasing. I'm like, oh, you don't make a better burrito than me. And she was like, oh, you want to bet? So me naturally going off of that conversation, I'm like, okay, you could come over and make a burrito. Like, make me a burrito. In my mind, right? In my mind, I'm like, she comes over, she makes a burrito, we taste it, I make a burrito, we taste it, and then the person who makes the best burrito wins, right? Cute little date. The text that she sent me after I said that,
Check
she
this
said,
out.
if you think I'm gonna cook for you, you got me effed up. And she spelled out the F word. And I was thinking to myself, like, what? Where does that come from? And so I sent her the text back. I was like, first of all, I let her know. I said, listen, I've never been so turned off so fast in my life. And then I told her, like, I meant that you're going to cook the burrito. We're going to eat. I told her basically what I just explained to y'all. And she goes, oh, well, I said that because my roommate is the only person that I cook for. That made it worse. Because let me get this straight. You're completely fine cooking for your roommate, but you're not fine with cooking for somebody who you have the potential to be in a long-term relationship with? Tell me how that makes sense. It made it worse. So she tried to double back. I can't even do it because I meant it. I've never been so turned off. And it's like, where did that even come from?
Right.
And it's like, that's just like, again, that's like the tip of the iceberg when it comes to this stuff, man.
Right.
A lot of women just don't know how to act. And again, a lot of them have been programmed to do this. Now, again, it's also their fault for.
So I'm going to pause it right there. Stop sharing. I'm going to stop sharing and see what that does is that causes guys, older guys, younger guys, doesn't matter, to go absolutely monk-mode. Particularly when you've got a taste of a woman overseas. When you've got a taste of a woman overseas and you see how they treat you and how when you ask them for their number, they don't fuck around. They give you the number if they like you. And there's none of that bullshit game. They just straight call you, you call them. It's just point blank. And they're straightforward, no games, no chasing. This shit here is what we deal with in America. And that's just the dating part of it. You know, you will see me make videos about the cost of living and everything. That's obvious that the cost of living is cheaper over there. Guys, just wanted to make a reaction video. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Comment below. This country, I love it to death. But the more and more I think about it, retirement is better for me overseas. I'll holler at you guys later. We'll check you at the next video. Peace. See if I can kick that in there. If it plays. If it plays. We'll see you next week again with another video. I'll let you know. Peace. Subscribe to 8,000 Miles Away.